Emmanuel, God is with us. Emmanuel, God is with us. Hey everybody, I'm out here in the garden and I want to discuss some things that people have been suggesting that you put in your garden, and I want to discuss with you why I am vehemently opposed to a new gardener making those choices. Okay, I want to talk about why I don't recommend squash for the new gardener who's not an expert. I will tell you up front, squash can produce a lot of food. It can produce as much food as just about any vine that you grow in your garden. But here's the other part of squash that people don't tell you. Squash requires more nutrients than any other vegetable that you will grow in your garden. And there's this enemy of the squash. It's called the squash bug. This is a monster that's lurking in your garden, hungry and waiting for you to plant the only food that it eats. And no amount of mixing the plants and crop rotation is going to deter the squash bugs. People try to plant their squash before the squash bugs come and eat them, or put them up to save before the squash bugs come. So that's why I don't recommend it to you, because if you're a novice gardener, you may not do that in a timely manner. So you may be sitting up there trying to grow squash and the squash bugs are coming for you and you won't have your food. I think that if it's early spring where you are, you could plant your squash, and for most people, I think the squash bugs start to arrive when it gets hot in June. So in June, you will have harvested all you can, and the plant will die from the squash bugs at that time. There are people who know how to grow vegetables who will outsmart the squash bug because they go out and pick them out of their garden every day. Do you have time for that? Do you want to do that? This is a bug. It is icky, and it is the problem of squash. Squash are productive if there are no squash bugs, but for most of us there are squash bugs. Now let's talk about carrots. Most people, I'm in an area I can grow carrots no problem. I grow carrots all year long, and I do. But most people are in an area with carrots where there's a thing called carrot fly. And this kills their carrot roots, it deforms them, and they don't get very much food from them. So in order for them to grow carrots, they have to cover the carrots with some kind of tool to keep the carrot fly out. And if they open up that tool and the carrot fly gets in there, it doesn't matter anymore. It's going to just be taking over the place, killing up all your carrots, making all your carrot type vegetables, that would be like parsnips, carrots, dill, all those kind of vegetables, just forget about it. It's over, it's gone. I am in an area where I live near wilderness, so there's plenty of food for everybody, including the carrot fly. And I have all kinds of caterpillars and stuff that come to my vegetable, and I still get way more than enough food. So if you're in Southern California, you can grow carrots if you want to. The issue with carrots in Southern California right now is you're going to have to water every day. Your water bill is going to be about $200 for some carrots. Now you see why I don't recommend carrots for you. Now, if it were like November, when we're going into our rainy season, by all means, plant carrots, go for it. In Southern California, if you have the carrot fly, don't do it. It's just not for you. I eat carrot tops all year long. I use them like other people use parsley. So I have them, but I'm not a new gardener. I've been gardening for decades, That's just like me telling a kindergartner to read Shakespeare to me. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's a book they can read, Dr. Seuss, something with some pictures. But what we're telling gardeners to do is to go in an advanced chemistry class and, explain physics to me, and they've never even studied science. It's just not right. So I'm taking the hard vegetables off your list. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are a great crop. I highly recommend them for everybody, but just understand that they have some problems. blossom end rot. If you have a lot of water, you know, you could have a lot of problems with your tomatoes, and you could be frustrated with them. They are fun. Cucumbers, they're fun, but you got to know when to pick your cucumbers. You know, if you wait too long, they're hard as wood, and they're not very edible. They look sick and deformed, and that's the only crop you're going to get from cucumbers. Jesus loves you, and I love you with all the Jesus in me. Be blessed, beautiful.